episodes just to make it happen. We would literally need like
Yeah, we're
3
just like,
episodes extra.
this is episode 61. We're not doing anything. Bye. And then it's just over.
Yep, just a 5-minute, like, hey, what's up? Okay, bye.
Yeah.
This is some padding.
I'm into it.
Mm-hmm. How was your board game experience, Sam?
We do filler story arc.
Okay, I'm gonna.
Who?
How was your board game experience?
It was very good. I would highly recommend the Pride and Prejudice board game to everyone. It's
Pride and
called
Prejudice?
Pride and Prejudice card game called Marrying Mr. Darcy. And basically everyone plays one of the women in the book, and you have to it's a deck building game, and you have to collect, like, basically every turn you pick up an event card and you do what it says on the card, but then like that event card might be like, it's a party. Everyone has to roll the dice, and if you get 1 or 2, nothing happens. Sometimes you have to throw away one of your cards, and sometimes you get to play one of your cards.
Mm-hmm.
And the goal is to get your stats up to a certain level so that you can attract one of the suitors. And so like all the men have different requirements. Like Darcy wants 5 wit, but then like Mr. Bingley just wants a 2 dowry. And, like,
This is
it's pretty fun.
That sounds like the most British board game I've ever heard of.
Fun fact, I own that, but I haven't gotten anybody to play it with me.
It's so good, Alison.
Because I love Jane Austen, so I'm like, oh, it's perfect, and I need to get people to play it with me.
I'm going to try and get a copy of it for our family holiday later in the year.
That's
Because
wonderful.
it's super good.
That's dumb in
How
the
many
good, in the
players
good
do you
way.
need? What's the minimum?
It's 2 players, so you and Xavier can play it.
Yeah, I was gonna say that sounds right up his alley. Like maybe I should recommend it.
Yeah, it's just like a fun deck building game, but like all of the events are like, it's a tea party. Or like, scandal, your sister has eloped. This makes you less desirable.
That sounds extremely goofy.
Does the fact that I've read Pride and Prejudice like an upsetting amount of times, will that help me?
Probably not. I don't know. I just had a look on Amazon. I was like, oh, I'll see how much it is. It's £90 because it's completely out of stock and it was a Kickstarter game.
Whoa.
Whoa,
That's
I'm
crazy.
glad I bought that.
£90.
There's an
Jesus.
undead version for £6 and an Emma expansion.
Wait, there's an Emma expansion? I need to get that.
The
Yeah.
Emma expansion is only
I haven't
£14.
played it, but I need it.
I need to see if I can find a copy of Marrying Mr. Darcy because it's very good.
It's $30 here.
I mean, that makes about the right amount of sense to me.
Because it's in stock, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. It's Prime.
By the way, the cat is on my lap, but like I have to hold him here because he's starting to slide off.
Oh.
He has you trained so well.
Oh yeah. And he's the most spoiled.
All right, so should we get started in just a sec?
Yeah, sure.
Where is this
We also
Emma
played
expansion?
Pandemic, which was fun, obviously.
Yeah. After this, I'm gonna go hang out with my friend who works at Nintendo. So that'll be fun.
All right, so 3, 2, 1. Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 59 of Gaming Fix. I'm hosting today. I'm Allison, since Andre has moved and his internet situation is fraught at best. Joined today by Alex.
Hey, I will not be doing an AMA on 8chan.
You know, I'm glad, thank you. Joined by Sam.
Hi, I will be doing an AMA on 8chan.
No, Sam.
In solidarity from my European friends at THQ Nordic.
And Erica. Yay.
Hi, I'm back. It's been like 6 weeks.
Welcome
I missed
back.
you.
Oh, I missed you too.
I'm very,
Man.
very excited to have you back.
So
Thank
Erica,
you.
I think this whole podcast is us just going to be talking about the games you've played for the past 2 years.
Oh,
Yeah.
Catch up.
the games I've played in the last, I mean, I don't know about 2 years, but in the last like 6 weeks have only been Joysound, and then today I played one game because I felt bad about that. Like, I was like, I'm gonna come back to my podcast after 6 weeks, my video game podcast, and all I've been doing is doing karaoke and nothing else. So I'm like, okay, no, I really do need to play something else, and so I played a little something else.
So since that's the perfect segue, how about you talk about your games?
So Joysound, huh?
So Joysound.
I figured out how to make a Japanese PlayStation account, and then I figured out how to get money into it, which took a little bit of time, especially because I was drinking. That's when I decided Joysound was a good idea. I was like, we went to a Buffalo Wild Wings, and then got real drunk, and then came home, and then on the way home we stopped into Rite Aid to get more drinks to come home and figure out how to get Joysound onto our TV. And we did successfully after a while. It involved Xavier. My husband has been studying Japanese for a few years now, so he can read quite a bit, even though he can't speak a whole lot. So he was able to navigate some menus for me while I was like Googling what to do at the same time. But that app is actually really good. The only thing is like, all right, I don't know if it's me. I don't know if I'm just dumb and I don't know how to figure this out, or if it's in another language, but there's only one video that plays during like the songs. It's just like this weird couple like staring into like space under like a weird blanket, and like they have like a really tiny globe. I don't know why, but it's really small, and they just keep like looking at it longingly, and I don't know. But it's like the only video that plays for any song, and I don't know why. And then we managed to switch it at some point to some weird slideshow, but those are my two options. They're like the slideshow or this weird couple like staring into the stars.
Wait, so are all of the songs in Japanese? Because I know there's like 400,000 songs on there or something, but
yeah, there's a lot of English language songs. Okay. So I was very disappointed by the lack of Cardi B. But other than that, they had most of the songs I wanted. They didn't have Maps, which is one of my go-to karaoke songs, but they did have like, they had a lot of my usuals. They had Guns N' Roses.
I used to play Maps a lot on Rock Band on drums because it's a very fun experience.
Yes, it is. I agree with this. But yeah, I don't know. They have Lady Gaga. What else do you need, really? So
do they got all your crazy K-pop?
They have only the Japanese versions of all of my crazy K-pop songs. And what was that?
I believe that was a cat.
That was a cat playing around in a box.
The cat's very excited about the karaoke chat.
Yeah. K-pop.
There's now a second cat trying to fight other cat into the box.
Wow. But so they only have the Japanese versions of K-pop?
Yeah, at least for the songs that I was looking for. They also don't have my new favorite group, but they're new, so I'm okay with it.
Okay, what group is that though?
The Boys? Okay, I'm pretty sure I've told you about them. I love them.
Here we go.
There's like 12 of them, so there's a lot.
Oh, yeah.
One of them like was on that producer. Fiona like yelling at Gus. Yeah. I don't know if you watched any of those that Produce 101 show at all, which I didn't, but I know
my friend did, but
yeah, I didn't watch it, but I know one of the members who got kicked off of it is in this group, or one of the contestants that got kicked off is in this group. People know who he is. And yeah, I don't know. There's somebody who was on K-Pop Star 6. Yeah, I don't know. They like compiled some like people who were on other stuff and then also found other good people and threw them all in a group together.
That seems to be a common thing in K-pop because there's a new group that has one of my favorites from, I saw the most recent season of the Produce show, Produce 48, which is what kind of got me into K-pop actually. And one of my favorites who got kicked off was in a new group. So it was thing. So anyways, this has been Erica and Allison's K-pop chat.
I'm about to go back into it though, because I'm going to tell you about trying to sing K-pop songs on Joysound. So like there are some like BTS songs that I know that have only Japanese versions, and so like I kind of know those songs anyway. So I did sing like a few of those poorly, to the best of my ability, and like Xavier reads quite a bit of Japanese now, so he was like, and he knows a lot of the songs, but he knows like the Korean versions because those are the ones I'm playing in the house. So like he kind of knows how the songs go. So he's just been like trying to sing like the Japanese versions of Korean songs that he only sort of knows. So like it's just been like a weird experience of like me scream singing the Korean words over his Japanese version stuff. So, but yeah, I don't know. I wish they had like the Korean versions as options, because I can't see the Japanese versions.
Which is interesting, because whenever I go out to karaoke with my friends, we go to a Korean place, and but I've actively sung the Japanese versions because I think it's a lot easier to pronounce Japanese than Korean.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So I'm just like, oh, okay. But then I'm sad because there's one line in the Japanese version of the Twice song TT, where in one of the versions of it, one of Jihyo's lines is literally, "I need cookie." And I am a little bit obsessed with that. And then in the karaoke version, it wasn't there. And I was like, where's "I need cookie"?
Did you sing it anyway?
No, I didn't. But I was like with my friends going, "I need cookie." So, yeah.
Well, at least now we have a podcast title. Thank you.
Cookie.
I need cookie.
Exclamation point.
Yeah. And so, so setting that up through the Japanese account is pretty straightforward, or?
Like I said, I was real drunk. So like, if I wasn't, it probably would have taken maybe 10 minutes tops.
Okay.
Because it took closer to an hour.
Wow.
But like, yeah, I don't know. There's some website, I forgot what it was called. Play Asia. Xavier just yelled from in the living room. That yeah, you can just buy you pick whatever country it is that you want the money to come from, and I was able to buy like 1,000 yen card for the PlayStation Store, and then just like punch it in there.
How does that work? Is it like a free app and then you're buying every song, or is it?
No. So they have like a 24-hour, they have a 30-day like subscription, or they have a 24-hour subscription. So we've been doing the 24-hour ones. They have a few free songs, which I think are just kind of to make sure your internet can handle this. And yeah, but I know Born This Way is weirdly one of the free songs. I don't know why. Like they're all Japanese except Born This Way.
Okay.
Yeah. As you do. This makes perfect sense.
So I don't know. But yeah, so we've been doing like the 24-hour ones. And I think it's like, I don't know, it's like under $3, I think, for 24 hours. Which I thought was extremely reasonable if you want to scream your lungs out to some karaoke on a weekend.
Honestly, considering I walk around my apartment screaming out to songs without any backing track, this seems like a really good deal for me.
What are you?
I recommend it.
Sorry. What are you using for a microphone?
I think it's a Rock Band mic.
Okay.
Pretty sure. We just like plugged it into the front of the PlayStation. It's been fine.
All right, cool.
Ideally, we'd have two because we do quite a few duets. So we've just kind of been like throwing it back and forth between the two of us. But ideally, you need two. But yeah, that's Joysound. You should play it. It's fun.
I am legitimately probably going to go look up microphones and figuring out how to play this, because this sounds like very, very fun.
Yeah. So let me talk about Late Shift real quick, because I've spent a lot of time talking about Joysound. And Late Shift is interesting. It's like it's an FMV game. They're not calling it a game. I think they called it like a cinematic movie interactive experience thing.
But it's an FMV for real.
It's FMV. It's an FMV game, like fully, where there are really fast, quick time like choices, and 2 to 3 choices here and there. And it's just, I guess, I don't know how much it actually changes it because I haven't, done multiple playthroughs. I haven't finished my first playthrough. So, but essentially you play as a guy who he's a student, like a math student, I think maybe. And he works in a parking garage that seems to deal with high-end cars. And you somehow get roped into a heist because you witness somebody trying to steal one of the cars in order to perform a heist of like a weird tiny bowl that's really expensive, I guess. I don't know. It just looks like a little bowl to me. So that's not much further than I've gotten like through the heist and like a little bit beyond that. I think I'm nearing the end of my first playthrough. I don't know if I will do more than one. It's really interesting. It looks really nice. They did a nice job like shooting the whole thing. It never feels like there's never any weird cuts at any point where I'm like, oh, this is where they, this is the FMV part, like it always feels like a movie, I guess, except for when you're making choices. But I don't know. It's just kind of like, it just is what it is, like the story is not that like compelling to me. It seems fine. It's interesting, but it's not like, I kind of wish it was doing any other story, maybe.
Yeah. From what I understand, it can change paths quite a bit depending on what you do.
Okay.
So, like it does kind of warrant multiple playthroughs, but yeah, I don't know if the story's really worth it.
Yeah, like I could see myself like looking up what happens in like other endings or whatever, but I don't know if I'll definitely finish this playthrough just because I think I'm like right around the end, but I don't think I'll go back and play more unless, I don't know, maybe the ending will blow me away and I'll be like, yes, absolutely. I want to see what else is there. But as of now, the acting's pretty good, honestly, too, considering. Yeah.
Did you end up playing the Bandersnatch Black Mirror thing?
No, I didn't. I don't know. I didn't have like a huge interest in it. Was it good? I don't remember hearing
it. It was fine.
I liked it.
Okay. Should I play it? I think I still have Netflix, maybe.
Welcome back to the world, Erica.
I've been so busy with school and work. I'm trying to like learn how to be a person again, like existence.
Oh.
So, but I don't know. Yeah, maybe I should play that. Maybe that's better. Maybe that's what I want. Because like, I don't know. I was asking Xavier because I woke up in a panic today being like, oh my God, I need to play something. Because all I've done is sing Disney songs and K-pop songs on like karaoke.
Honestly, I think that's a good thing to do, but yeah.
But like I took 6 weeks off. I felt so guilty about it,
Don't feel guilty. I know that feel. I've been really busy with work too, so it gets hard to do anything but like sleep and watch TV or something when you go home.
Yeah, like I've just been like plopping down in bed and just laying there.
I'm glad that as soon as you came back, the first thing you went to was FMV.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was asking Xavier like, hey, do you have any new games? And he's like, no, I haven't really bought any games yet this year other than like the new Civ expansion.
Hell yeah.
I wasn't super interested in that. So
oh, don't worry. We already talked about it. It's great.
Good. So I hear he's playing it nonstop. So I'm sure it's great.
Super, super good.
Yeah. And so I don't know. Like I was like, "What else do you have?" He's like, "I don't know. We could check Humble Bundle." And then like, "Oh, this FMV game." I'm like, "Oh yeah, okay, let's do that one."
The Humble Bundle did have Vermintide 2 though, which Pat was super hot on last year.
Oh yeah, he was super hot on that game. I should play that game.
Yeah,
maybe that'll be next week.
Yeah, could be cool. And talk to Pat. I'm sure he would join you.
It's on Game Pass too, Vermintide 2, which is pretty cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, it just got put on a few weeks ago.
Awesome.
Cool. All right, so let's go to Sam. What have you been playing this week?
Not very much, to be honest. I think I had like Dragalia Lost came out today in the UK, which is kind of cool. So I played like an hour of that. But that's pretty much all I played this week, apart from a little bit last weekend, just after we recorded the show on Sunday. I played Lego DC Supervillains because it was on a massive sale on the PlayStation Store, like less than half price, which was awesome. Because I've been like really jiving for a Lego game. And I played some of that. John Barrowman is the voice of Malcolm Merlin, who is the evil Green Arrow. So that's pretty good. And you can you can unlock characters by spending like in-game coins, just like any other one. And like all my characters were like Catwoman, the Joker, and like all these like people with no good powers. And I just unlocked Blue Beetle and was just like flying around and zapping stuff. And I'm like, oh, this is a bit overpowered. You integrate your own character, which is cool. And I gave mine a big sword. So yeah, that's pretty much it. It's a good game. It's a Lego game, obviously. So it's, Lego games are kind of, you know what you're getting and you know if you like that.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I get the urge every like 2 years to play one.
So Lego games are usually based on movies, right? Like most of the time. And like
not so much anymore, I don't think.
Oh really? So is this like an original scenario or is it
it's completely original. It's like a follow-on from Lego Batman 1 to 3, which the movie is based off of those games. Well, actually, no, it's more based off the Lego movie. Because Lego Batman 1, 2, and 3 are like cool, fun DC Universe stories. And like Lego Batman 3 is all about like the War of the Lanterns and stuff. It's like all the different lanterns coming together. And then this one, Lego DC Supervillains, is just kind of like I can't remember what they're called now. The Justice Syndicate, the evil version of the Justice League from one of the other Earths, like Earth 37 or something. They come to Earth 1.
I'm just smiling and nodding. Sure.
Yeah. So it's like all of the like evil versions of the characters. Like Owlman is the evil version of Batman. Power Ring is the evil version of Green Lantern. Johnny Quick is the evil version of the Flash. And then Ultraman is the evil version of Superman, and the Superwoman is the evil version of Wonder Woman. And like the evil version of Aquaman is just Jason Momoa's Aquaman, I think, which is quite funny. I don't know. Have any of you seen the Lego Movie 2 yet?
No, not yet.
No.
So we went to see it a few weeks ago, and they've got Jason, like all the Justice League actors, like Superman and Batman and whatever, are all the same actors that they were in the first Lego Movie. So Will Arnett is Batman, Jonah Hill is Green Lantern, and Channing Tatum is Superman. Mm-hmm. But they use voice clips from the Justice League movie of Jason Momoa to do Aquaman. That's all he does is Batman. And like,
okay.
Like go Yahoo, and like it's very clearly reused voice clips, and it's very funny.
That's really goofy.
That kind of might be convincing me to go see that movie.
Yeah, that sounds really dumb, and I love it.
The movie's totally worth seeing. It's great. There's lots of very good jokes in it.
Is it as good as the first movie?
I think, to be honest, that like with hindsight, like the first movie is a great movie, but it's nothing like spectacularly amazing. It's just a really fun, really well-made movie.
I think
Fiona thinks the first one is better. She does.
Cool.
Because the concept was better.
Fair enough. Because I think the reason I found the first one so good was because you look at the title, you're like, The Lego Movie, and you're like, oh, this is just going to be shit. But then it turned out to be wonderful.
Yeah.
So maybe that.
I've liked all the Lego movies. Lego Ninjago is really, really funny and has like so in Ninjago, the like main, it's like kind of what's the name of the thing? I've forgotten it. It's a kaiju style like thing where they've got like, they're like the city's being attacked by this giant monster, but the giant monster is just a kitten. And it's this adorable kitten that is just like walking around and like swatting at stuff. And they're like, oh no.
I've seen the first 2 seasons of the TV show.
I don't think they're related.
Maybe 6 or 7 times. And
oh my God.
Wow.
Because I was a nanny and those were the only 2 that were on Netflix, and the kids just wanted to kept cycling through them like weekly.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I have Lego Ninjago on 4K Blu-ray, and it looks something. It's really funny.
I'm gonna watch that.
Voice cast is really good. Dave Franco's the main character. Kumail Nanjiani is in it, and the guy who played Gabe in The Office.
What?
Isn't it? Really? And he's playing a robot who's like trying to pretend that he's not a robot, which is very funny.
It's funny.
That all sounds.
And obviously Lego Batman's great. With the like love storyline between Zach Galifianakis' Joker and Lego Batman.
That sounds also really great.
It is good.
Speaking of video game or tangentially video game movies, did anybody end up seeing Wreck-It Ralph 2?
It's not out here yet.
I realize it came out already.
I think it's out. Maybe I'm wrong, but
yeah, it's out in the US. It's not out here till April.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't hear a lot of good stuff about it, so I just kind of skipped it.
Oh, that's heartbreaking. I really like the first one so much.
I like the first one a lot too, but could be wrong. That's just kind of the vibe I got from other folks.
No excitement.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, that seems like a good Lego game.
I played a little bit. I think it's really fun. I would recommend people watch it. John Mulaney is hosting SNL tonight, so.
Oh, hell yes! I'm excited about that.
Yeah, I'm very excited to watch that first thing tomorrow morning. Also, on another tangent, I've been reading a really cool comic called Avengers: No Surrender, which is like basically it's just kind of like dope moment after dope moment, because it's like the culmination of like 4 series of Avengers comics, but there's no like continuity that you need to know. They're like, yeah, just do it. Like, just go with it. Just have a good time. It's totally worth reading. And it's got a lot of cool characters like Lady Thor and it's got some other cool, like there's a really good Hulk bit in it. There's some good Hawkeye moments.
Wait, is her name just Lady Thor?
Well, it's just Thor, but there's no good way to delineate between the Thor, the main male Thor, and the Thor who was a woman.
Okay.
So she was always just called Thor. They never called her like Lady Thor, Miss Thor, Thor-S. She was always just called Thor. But a lot of people in the comics world to delineate call her Lady Thor or Jane Foster Thor, which is a spoiler for that comic series if you haven't read it, that was like 9 years ago.
Okay.
But yeah, I think that's basically it. Everyone should read Avengers No Surrender. It's really good, and the sequel is just started right now. It was a weekly series written by 4 writers, and basically those 4 writers took their favorite minor characters from Avengers and like Avengers related comics and like fleshed them out into big deals into this book. So there's like a really good Quicksilver moment. There's really good bits with like Scarlet Witch, like characters that you don't really see very often.
Cool.
So enjoy.
Very cool. All right, Alex, what have you been playing this week?
Well, we have one in common. So do you want to tag team it? We can absolutely tag team this because
let's do that.
So
we can talk about that.
I've been very excitedly waiting for this one, and that is the new one from Red Link Studios, Trials Rising. So I think
Yay.
when did we first start talking about this game? It was in like December of last year when they had the first beta, the closed beta.
Yeah, when they had the closed beta.
Yeah. I had a lot of issues with it then, just technical issues. Like it was crashing on my PC and like losing a lot of progress and all that kind of stuff. So the first thing I'll say is I have not yet had a single technical issue with this game on my PC.
Yeah, that's been good. Do you wear the fun closed beta special gift helmet thing?
Which one is it?
It's like white with gold.
Oh, I don't know if I got that.
You have to go into like the Ubisoft. I think you have to. I'm playing it on PS4, so I just had to go into the like separate Ubisoft and like redeem it separately or something.
Oh,
I don't know.
I'll take a look at that because I did get the deluxe edition, so I'm wearing the 6 samurai outfit, and the rest of me is a gorilla. So,
as you do.
Yeah, but that game is, for one thing, that game is very Trials, and for two, it's really good.
It is really good. It's been really fun. I was up until I hit a bit of a wall difficulty wise, and I've heard this might be just a bug with that level. It's the final Siberia finals, which it suddenly got hard, and I was like, what's going on?
Yeah,
why can't I beat this? But I the thing I really like about Trials is just the level of easy to learn, hard to master it is. Because I've been working a lot this week, and so it is really a nice game to be able to go home and just sit on the couch and chill out and play some Trials. But if I do want to really work at it and try to be good at Trials, which I don't know if I really am, I can do that too. So I think there's a lot of potential in Trials to be both like a game where you just chill out and play, or a game where you're actually working to become really skilled in it.
Yeah. Have you spent much time with Trials University?
I have. That's what I was thinking about when there's one, or for some of the later Trials University ones, where you have to, where your grade is like not about speed, but about harder Trials University things. And I spent a lot of time on some of those.
Yeah, I haven't done a lot of them, but like seeing that there's consecutive bunny hops as one of the Trials University subjects just terrifies me, because that stuff gets so hard.
Yeah, the one I was doing recently was about landing on an incline, and I got up to pretty high in that, and then suddenly it was like, you have to do 3 in a row to get up. And I'm like, man, I don't know if I have that in me today.
Yeah.
So I stopped, but I feel like Trials University really does make you better at Trials. Like they do a good job of trying to make you like learn how to play the game, because I was playing one of them, and then I accidentally exited without it somehow registering where I was. And I was like, no, I'm upset about that. So then I went in and tried to get back to my previous ranking, and it was a lot faster. So it really does. I think they figured out a really good way to teach you how to play the game, or like to get to the higher skill level than just using the right trigger and doing nothing else.
Yeah, I totally agree. Because like, especially like Trials HD, Trials Evolution, especially, it doesn't explain anything. Like, like basically it just throws you in and it's like, here, go get gold medals. That's all. Like, it doesn't explain any of the advanced mechanics to you. It doesn't, like you kind of have to intuit a lot of that stuff. Like, I didn't know how to do bunny hopping until I was just like, I don't know how to get past this. What happens if I fling my stick back and forth, kind of stuff. And that was really awesome. So the fact that you can go into here and not know anything, like this could be your first Trials and you can see all that and just like have that all explained to you rather than having to intuit it, like that's the best.
Yeah, and having all the various missions do a lot to make things like some of the easier courses really repeatable in a nice way too. So it's it adds a lot of challenge when you go through a previous one that you thought was pretty easy, and then suddenly it's like, all right, do 20 front flips in this one, and you have to figure out where the best way, like the best route to do that is, and how to do that without dying too much. Yeah,
they totally give you good reason to go back to old levels when they start introducing the challenges. Though the only complaint I have so far is that the level select is kind of terrible. Like the fact that it's just on the map and it's like, oh wait, where's the level I want to go to? And you have to go through like everyone individually with like selecting with a cursor, and it's just not great.
I really do wish, I mean, I know that they want it to be like you're going around the world with these, but it would be really nice if they had an actual just list of if you could hit triangle or something and just turn that into a list, that would be awesome. That would be so nice. And
have you gotten anything hilarious out of the loot boxes?
Well, right now my gear is the closed beta helmet, a giant pink sweater, which is it's just kind of a plain sweater, and then I got in one of the fancy loot boxes. I got like boxer shorts as mine, so now I'm just wearing boxer shorts with this giant sweater, helmet, and shoes. So I'm a very, very cool person with that. But I feel like a lot of the just kind of base level ones aren't terribly exciting. You get some, especially with the clothes, I feel like they're kind of, you start running into the same ones over and over again, and you see, okay, I haven't been playing that long, but I've gotten the shirt with the pocket like 20 times. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think the loot box stuff is kind of pointless ultimately. And like, I don't know if you remember talking about this, but when Call of Duty World War II came out, we talked about it in our Game of the Year. One of the things I complained about was how the loot boxes were completely pointless. Like the only thing you got from them was, oh God, I don't even remember what it's called anymore. The thing that you attach pistol grip. And like you would get like 700 pistol grips and one of anything else. And it's kind of the same thing here, but with stickers. Like you're just getting, every loot box has at least 2 stickers, and you're getting one other thing that could be cool. But most of the times it's just another sticker. And I never use the stickers. So it's just filled with a lot of fluff.
Yeah. And I mean, I put one of the stickers on my bike, and it's like, well, that's cool, I guess. But you don't really pay attention to that while you're actually playing.
Yeah.
And I don't know. They are kind of pointless. And granted, that's probably good for me because I'm not really at all tempted to buy any actual money to spend on them.
Yeah,
but
same.
I'm like, okay, these are kind of pointless, but it'd be kind of nice if they had better cosmetics at least.
Yeah. So I don't know. Everything around playing Trials is okay, but the Trials itself seems really good. And like the levels, they're always really creative with the levels. Like I like one of the very early ones. So there's no, I don't know, how can you spoil Trials? But one of the very early ones is when you're going through the movie studio, and then like,
oh, that was rad.
Yeah. And then it's like, you're going through some of the sets, and then like the screen kind of flickers, and it's like, oh, now they've added the After Effects and like the post-production. Now there's like all these explosions and aliens like shooting everything. And then you get past a point and then it like flickers again. It's just like, oh no, you're just actually in a normal movie studio.
That's cute.
Yeah.
Yeah. And some of them are really surprisingly kind of beautiful. Like a lot of them are really, I mean, like, oh, you're doing extreme sports, but there's one with hot air balloons.
Yeah.
And that's really nice. And there's the one that's in Japan, which is really nice looking too. So yeah, it's the level design seems to be really, really good and really fun. So that's been neat. And I feel like there's a lot of them have multiple ways that you can kind of like for the most part, they're very, I mean, you go to the right, you have to go around the different obstacles, but there's different ways where you can kind of optimize your runs as well. Like there is one level where, like there's some levels where you have to get onto a platform and it raises you up a little bit.
Yep.
And for the most part, you kind of have to wait. but I was doing a race and I suddenly started going forward. And I was like, oh no, I did it first, but I actually like broke through the track and managed to get on it. And I was like, I didn't even know that was possible. Yeah. So there's just it's a lot of fun to be able to try the different things. And it feels like there's a lot more options than you might necessarily expect for a game which has a very specific track.
Yeah, no, totally. And there's different paths depending on the bike you take, because some bikes are more powerful. So like you'll end up on an upper platform rather than a lower one or something. And that takes you through a different path. But like the breaking through the floor thing, that has definitely been in previous trials. And that's usually how you find the squirrels, if you ever did that. So I imagine there's a ton of squirrels. I haven't actually gotten any squirrels yet.
No, neither have I.
But I don't know if that makes any sense to Erica or Sam. I don't know if you've played trials.
Just the first one on 360.
Yeah, and Erica,
yeah, sorry.
That's okay.
Oh, Fusion actually. I played Trials Fusion.
I did not. I like Trials Fusion, but the trick system, as everybody complained about, like it wasn't good.
That's the only one I've touched. Also,
yes,
Fusion,
but
I think, only briefly.
I think if you want to get back into Trials, this is definitely a good one. But the stuff surrounding the Trials is still a little meh.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. The thing that's also really nice about it, and why I'd recommend people give it a shot if you haven't or if you're thinking about it, is it's surprisingly affordable. Because I feel like they could potentially sell this for like AAA prices, but the base game is $25. And the gold edition, which I did buy as well, is $40. So it's I feel like it's even though there are certain elements of it that it would sure be nice if some of the cosmetics were better. So if we could actually go and access tracks without having to go around the map going like, where is that one track? I think that for what you're paying for it, it's a really good package.
Yeah, totally agreed. I think it's a good value proposition, and in general, like Red Lynx has a good history of supporting their games and like adding lots of stuff, new tracks and stuff. So yeah, I imagine in a year this will still be a really good game. Yeah,
for sure. I'm excited to see where they go with some of the content. And then also one of the other cool things is that I was considering getting the PC version because there's the level customization that you can do, but they've actually spread that out to all platforms. So even though you can't really create levels in the PS4 version, as far as I'm aware, you can still play other people's tracks. So
yeah,
which I think is really nice.
And another really cool thing about it is that it is, as long as you have a Ubisoft account, it is completely cross-platform, your saves and everything, all your progress. And that was pretty cool. So you could have it on Switch and then switch to your PC and, have all your progress going along with you. So
yeah, so that's Trials. So I'm really enjoying it. So I'm probably after this podcast going to go and play more Trials.
Yeah. But yeah, no, for my other stuff, let's see. For video games, I jumped in and I've been actually playing a little bit of Overwatch. I usually play like Overwatch a couple times a week, maybe more than that, just because it's a good way to hang out with friends. But just the other day, they had a story trailer for their new character, which is Baptiste. And you can currently play Baptiste in the PTR, which is their test client. And it's really cool. The patch they're doing has a lot of changes. I'm not going to go through a patch note list with you guys. Like that does not sound
great podcast content. Here, let's go through the patch notes for Overwatch.
Well, they changed Lucio's. No, the change is actually really cool.
Did they change Lucio?
Yeah, they did change Lucio.
Sorry, I he was legit one of the characters I play, so I'm like, oh.
Here's the short version of Lucio. They made his he hit shift and then he has the speed boost.
Yeah.
The speed boost is now 25% instead of 30%, but now he moves faster when he wall rides.
Okay.
So
cool.
There you go. That's it.
Thank you.
No problem. Baptiste is really cool. His story trailer is worth watching if you haven't seen it. And as a character, he's kind of somewhere between like Anna and Junkrat, I guess. I don't know. Like he has a burst rifle, so he shoots three shots at a time, which right now is really powerful, and people are complaining about it. They're saying it needs to be nerfed, but it's a new character. And his right click is kind of like Anna in that it heals, but it's like a grenade launcher. So it's
that's rad.
It's an AoE heal with like a little explosion radius. He has this really cool ability where if you've ever played Dota and you're familiar with the character Dazzle, he has something called Shallow Grave, which is you put that on a allied hero, and for like 5 seconds they can't get below 1 HP. So like you can keep hitting them and they'll be as low as possible, but you can't kill them. He has one of those. It's like a little area of effect, so you always get anybody in that area can get to 1 HP but can't get below it. So it basically makes them invincible for 5 seconds. His ultimate is like this square shield that you put in front of you, and any of your shots that go through the shield are amplified. So like by like 300 or 400% or something crazy. So he's a cool character. I don't think he's hugely game changing, but he's really fun to play. And yeah, I don't know. That patch is probably going to hit Overwatch next week or something. That's usually what they do, is like a week of testing in PTR and then they move it to the real client. So if you want to play Baptiste and all those other changes, check out Overwatch probably next week, I would assume. I don't know if they've actually announced it, but history would say probably next week. And for not video games, I actually read a comic. I'm turning into Sam. Granted, it is a Japanese comic, so haha.
Still on brand.
So that's still very much on brand for you.
Yeah.
I think you'll find that's Japanimation, or is that a hentai? I think that's what it's called. That's the genre.
Yep. It's a Japomic.
Yeah.
It's so it was recommended. I got to it in a really roundabout way because it was recommended to Cheska because the art in it is really amazing, and she's an artist. And then she in turn recommended it to me because the story's crazy. And so I was like, okay, let's check it out. It is called Oyasumi Punpun, so Good Night Punpun. And it follows the story at the start. It's this 11-year-old kid who is like this penguin, like a really low fidelity looking bird, penguin, duck, dove kind of character who's really cute. And it starts with just like really pithy, stupid comedy, just like almost like slapstick humor that it just doesn't make any sense, and it's weird, and it's like kind of non sequiturs all the time, and then there's like boner jokes and stuff, and you're just like, what? But it starts so silly, and the art is actually legitimately beautiful. Like if you're watching the stream, you'll see a little bit of it right now. All of it is hand done, and there were some parts where I had to like text Cheska and be like, was this actually a photograph or did he actually draw this? But no, everything is done by hand. There's no digital at all, and like some of it is just absolutely insane. Like it's just photorealistic and it's crazy, especially with the extremely low fidelity bird, duck, dove, boy. But I don't think I would recommend it to anyone here at all, because as everything I like, it has a hard turn and ends up being very explicitly about like depression, and like there would be a whole bunch of content warnings that I'd have to give you, like suicide, there is abuse, both emotional and physical, there is a rape scene, there is explicit murder, like stuff like that. So it's pretty intense, but it's extremely good also. So it's kind of another wonderful everyday situation where it's very good and 100% worth experiencing. But if you don't think you can handle it, then I'm just going to say don't try. But yeah, it's really, really good.
That sounds like an interesting. I think I've actually seen this around before. Now that I googled it, but
yeah, it's very popular and it's been around for a long time. Its run with the magazine it was in was from 2007 until 2013.
Oh, dang.
So,
that's pretty good.
Yeah, so it's been going for quite some time.
Cool. Sounds good. So I played mostly Trials this week, but yesterday and today I've played a little bit of Ape Out, which is on Switch. It's the new game from Devolver Digital, and it's really cool. It's a hard game to. I feel like it's a hard game to describe. It's also on Steam. I just got it on Switch, where you're basically an ape escaping from captivity.
Ape escape.
Yeah, well, sort of, but instead it's a lot more violent, and it's also very much more about the music, because honestly, it's the reason I say I think it's so hard to describe is that so much of what works about the game is because it's the music is largely like kind of percussion-y jazz music, like very much just like drumming with jazz, but then also like whenever you kill somebody, you do it has like a cymbal crash, so it's very much the music is based off of what you're doing, and the aesthetic is really interesting too. So I think that's the reason it's so hard to describe, is that gameplay wise, it could get different, but it's pretty straightforward. You mostly are trying to avoid getting shot, and you're trying to move out of this. You're trying to escape, and then also in doing so, violently killing people a lot. But the real way the game works is in the aesthetic, and especially in the music, which is
oh no,
really necessarily going to stay quite as exciting throughout the whole game, because I feel like I've played through the first, I want to say 4 levels, and part of me is like, okay, I kind of get it, but it's an interesting experience, and musically, if you're interested in music and games, it's something I would at the very least check out videos of, because it's quite cool.
Yeah, it looks like if you were to draw comparisons, gameplay wise, it's kind of like Hotline Miami, and then like,
yes,
the art style is kind of like original Nidhogg but top down.
Yeah. Like Hotline Miami is probably the biggest comparison people have made gameplay wise, but I would be a little bit hesitant to use that comparison, mostly because here it's a lot more straightforward. Of you've got 2, like, at least as far as I'm at right now, 2 real ways of killing people, which is either you like kind of push them away, or you can grab onto somebody, use them as a shield, and then kind of push them into another person, which is very satisfying, but it doesn't feel like there's quite as much of the strategy as the Hotline Miami.
Sure.
So it's kind of like Hotline Miami, but kind of pared down and simplified, and at its most I don't know, because you really can't use any guns or any other weapons, so it's a lot of you running around. But I think it's an interesting game to try, and I feel like I wouldn't recommend it unless you're interested in a game that's more interesting than fun. Although I say that it's definitely fun.
Sure.
It's more of like for being a game where you play as an ape that's violently murdering a bunch of people, it's probably one of the more artsy games I've played so far this year.
Do you know if the levels are randomly generated, or are they always the same?
So far it's been the same so far. I don't know if there's any level of randomization in terms of where the enemies are located, but it feels like the levels are mostly just actually created.
Okay. Cool. It looks interesting. I don't know if I'll try it. Maybe.
Yeah, I think interesting is the best word. I know that Giant Bomb did a quick look of it recently. I haven't had a chance to watch that yet, mostly because I actually got this game from a Facebook group giveaway, so I kind of wanted to experience it fresh,
cool.
As opposed to, but that might be something to check out if you're interested.
Right on.
All right. So does anybody have anything else to add? Everybody else excited about the new Pokemon announcements?
No.
I don't know. The direct didn't show all that much, really. Like, I mean, obviously we have the art style and the starters and all that kind of stuff and the world, but like, it kind of just looks like more Pokemon.
I'm upset that they left it on the table and they didn't call Sobble Sadpole. But
I like that we're just gonna leave that there.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the second evolution.
Probably. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I'm still used to people calling, like, I don't know when I forgot what gen this was,
8.
but when they
sorry.
No,
the previous one. My bad.
When the Pokemon Snivy, who, like, before everything came out, everybody was just calling it Smugleaf, to the point where I still think of it as Smugleaf.
Oh,
so I wonder.
Wasn't that the GBA one?
No, it was X and Y, I think.
Oh, was it X and Y? Okay.
It was Black and White.
Oh,
so DS. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, DS.
Yeah, I literally just remember, like, I could not even remember the name of the actual Pokemon because it's still Smugleaf in my brain. So I do that.
Yeah. It looks neat. I don't know. Some of the art it had was like the kind of UK-y, steampunk-y kind of stuff seemed kind of cool. Like when you're in the cities, it looked kind of London-ish, I guess. But I don't know. I am cautiously optimistic about it, I guess. I don't know. I haven't really loved a Pokemon game in quite some time. I played Sun and Moon and was like, yeah, this is good. But
I think they've just all been great, haven't they? But to like such a very incremental change that it's hard to get excited by new ones if you've played one in a while.
Yeah.
And then, like, for me, I thought Let's Go was like such a good change and like a really good way to play that game.
Totally.
Like the fact that you don't battle Pokemon and that you can see all the Pokemon in the world was like such a big change. So like you could see them walking around and then you didn't battle them, you just tried to catch them. And like that was so much better. And I think that they should have done that for Gen 8, but they've already showed like wild Pokemon battling, so it's back. But it's nice to like keep your Pokemon for fighting trainers. Like that was quite cool. Like your Pokemon fight each other, you catch Pokemon.
Yeah, that was kind
I
of
understand,
my feeling
but sorry, but like regular Pokemon is such kind of comfort food for me, where on the one hand, I understand that like I do want Pokemon to forward, but on the other hand, like them doing like, here's a new region, here's a new bunch of Pokemon, here's a new kind of like
goodbye, Allison.
we're making a straightforward Pokemon game. I'm like,
oh, there we go. We have you back.
Oh, okay.
We didn't catch most of that. So what was that?
Oh, sorry. Well, Pokemon is very much kind of comfort food for me. Mm-hmm. It was actually one of the first games I ever played was Pokemon Blue. So I totally understand wanting to move it forward as a series. And I do think that they should keep trying to innovate. But on the other hand, a new Pokemon game going, okay, here's a new region, here's new Pokemon. it looks prettier. Here's new gyms. I'm like, I can kind of get behind that, and it's kind of something I need this year. So
That's fair.
I feel like in a perfect world, they would keep doing interesting stuff like Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee, and trying new things like that, but then also kind of keeping the Pokemon formula, because there's something about the Pokemon formula that just feels very much like, okay, I know what I'm getting into with this. I can kind of chill and play it.
Yeah.
So.
And like, I've heard the argument many times of it's always someone's first Pokemon. So like this will be some 7-year-old kid's first Pokemon, and he or she is probably gonna love it.
I would love to see Let's Go versions of Gold and Silver.
That'd be pretty neat.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I want it so bad.
Yeah. What if maybe we get Let's Go games every off year, or every couple of off years or whatever? That'd be cool.
Who would be your starters? Because like Pikachu and Eevee are kind of the mascots of Gen 1. Who are the mascots of Gen 2?
I don't know. Whoever it was in Crystal, because that's what it'd be adapting.
Oh, that's fair.
So whatever the stars were in Crystal, if they were different.
I never played Crystal.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I just played Silver.
I played Crystal because it's the first one where you could play a girl.
Oh,
that's reasonable.
I played Gold, and then I was like, in Crystal you can play a girl, and then you can also there's also a new tower, and that's enough to get me very excited back when I was a kid. Yeah, but I think that it'd be really nice, and I think that they actually have this opportunity with the Switch being both a handheld and a home console to be able to do that. Like I know that when I was younger, I was really into some of the console Pokemon games, specifically Pokemon Coliseum, which was still an RPG, but it had an interesting. It was a lot more. It went different ways and did some innovation, and then also that was followed up with another one. So I think it'd be really cool if they could both. Okay, this is the main line Pokemon. Okay, this is the kind of weird side Pokemon, and if they could release both on the Switch, that would be great.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Does anyone have anything else they'd like to add or bring up?
Do you think Anthem's gonna kill Bioware?
Bioware's been dead for years.
It very well could. Hearing about Anthem actually legitimately bricking some PS4s made me go, "Ooh, it might be. Yeah. This might be it."
Yeah, I mean, like, if you read the Giant Bomb review that came out yesterday at the time of recording this, Brad was the one who reviewed it, and he mentioned that multiple times his PS4 completely shut down, and he had to repair his disc. And it's just like,
wow.
If that's happening with this game, that's real bad. And if it's bricking, like legitimately, that's
yeah. I've seen multiple accounts on Twitter of people going, "Yeah, it fully bricked my PS4, or it fully bricked my PS4 Pro," and
that's why I stopped playing it. I think I was
where I love point where I'm the one. I'm one of those Mass Effect Andromeda defenders, and I genuinely would like to like it, but I still am not going to buy it until there's assurances that it's not going to break my PS4. So it's not great for BioWare at the very least.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I used to love BioWare quite a bit, but I just don't see how they recover from this unless they make something just absolutely immaculately spectacular in the next few years. But I don't even know if they're going to get the chance.
Oh yeah, well that's the question. I think it's going to honestly depend on how far they are with the next Dragon Age. If they're decently far enough in development where they could finish it off and release it and be good, then. But man, I don't even know if
I don't believe it'd be good.
I don't know. I don't know. I feel like ever since the doctors left, BioWare hasn't really been BioWare.
Yeah, that's my exact thought.
Maybe even a little bit before, honestly. Like maybe with the launching of the Old Republic. Like, because to me, it kind of felt like the Old Republic was them trying something outside of their normal wheelhouse and like keeping enough BioWare in there for BioWare fans to like it. Like they still had dialogue.
The story was great. I loved it. I played loads of Old Republic, like 40 hours, 50 hours. And like it's fully voiced. It's like got an amazing story that's like definitely like up to Mass Effect quality. Sure. And I didn't even finish it and I was over 40 hours in.
Yeah.
Like,
but the problem was, sorry. I was going to say the problem with it was that like the gameplay and everything surrounding the story was so rote. And like that felt like EA pushing BioWare to be like, hey, we need an MMO. Can you make us an MMO? And then it just seemed kind of like BioWare was becoming that studio of just make whatever we need for EA.
Yeah, it's I wanted to like the Old Republic because in case you guys didn't know, I like Star Wars a lot.
Oh,
and
really?
Shocking, I know. And I like BioWare a lot. So I felt like the Old Republic should be like this perfect kind of game for me, but I felt like it was just still not, like I couldn't get through the RPG or the MMO parts of it.
Yeah, and that's not
through the story.
That's not to say it's bad by any means. I know a lot of people who genuinely love it, like, and still love it to this day. But they're still going to do more stuff for it, so it's still really popular, maybe not popular, but it's still beloved by a lot of people. But But I don't know, man. Anthem seems rough.
Yeah. Oh man, I really do want to like it, but I'm holding off.
Did you get to the late game, Sam? Like you said, you finished it, right? But like, is there post game late game content?
Oh, for Anthem?
Yes.
No, I didn't finish it. I'm like 6 hours in.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
It was Andre that finished it.
Andre finished it.
Okay,
Yeah.
Gotcha. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah. I've heard the end game is not very good.
No, I've heard it just looks bad. Looks like they didn't really think about it.
Yeah, which is kind of unfortunate. Considering what kind of a game they want Anthem to be.
Yeah.
But speaking of Star Wars, my weird little bit of excitement is that they're going to. I don't know if I should be excited about it because it's EA, but Respawn's new Star Wars game is going to be revealed at Star Wars Celebration, which I am going to in April. So I'm very cautiously excited about this because I haven't played any of the old Ape yet, but people are saying it's real good, and if they can bring some of that magic to Star Wars, I'm excited.
Yeah, I kind of blew one of my friends' minds the other day because they've been playing Apex Legends because they're a Fortnite fan, and before that they were just like not really super into games, maybe Call of Duty every now and again, like very just mainstream gamey kind of whatever's popular, don't really care about the rest of the industry. And I asked him like, oh, did you ever play Titanfall? He's like, what's Titanfall? I was like, oh, don't worry about it. It's what they made before. Did you know they're making a Star Wars game? And he was like, what? Because like I think even like Apex Legends has really brought Respawn to the forefront for people who didn't really know them before. Because Titanfall never sold particularly great, even though they were amazing games. So I think people are actually going to be super hyped for that. And I think personally, I would trust Respawn out of any studio in EA right now. To pull that off.
I personally am not really big on currently trusting EA with the Star Wars license, given the output has been not great and how many games they've canceled. And I just want my single player Star Wars game, but this has me cautiously optimistic. So I am, if assuming I don't have anything that conflicts with it, I might go to that panel where they reveal it. So very exciting stuff. And if they actually, I seriously doubt it, but if they actually had anything playable at Celebration, that'd be extremely exciting.
Yeah, that'd be super.
It's coming out this year, apparently.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yep, fall. So they very well could. I would be very excited, and so if there's it'll be a Gaming Fix exclusive from Star Wars Celebration, an exclusive that they are actually that they're going to probably live stream and have other people at the panel, but I'll be there too.
Exclusive. Yeah.
Exclusive.
That's great.
From Star Wars Celebration.
But I don't know. I wonder, did everybody here play the Titanfall 2 campaign?
Yeah, it's great.
Like, could you imagine if like they do some of the kind of timey stuff? That would be fun.
I'd be interested.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
One quick thing. Next time we speak, I will have seen Captain Marvel.
Me too. I'm so excited.
Me and my brother-in-law going at midnight on Thursday.
I have like tickets for 8 p.m. on Thursday. I'm so excited.
Has there been any hype around it? Like, I mean, like critical hype, like people who have seen it?
As far as I can tell, it's all positive.
Yeah, there haven't been reviews yet, but there's been early buzz, and early buzz has been exciting. Apparently, the thing that I've heard is that it goes full on into the cosmic Marvel weirdness, which I am all about.
I'm here for that.
Yeah, but I'm very excited because I love the recent run of comics by Kelly Sue DeConnick. And so I've been full on just like super hyped for this movie since they announced it. So I'm very, very excited.
Alex, did you see that they gave the cat a character poster?
I did not see that.
There's all these very serious character posters of like Glenn Close and Samuel L. Jackson and stuff, and then one of them is just a cat.
Hell yeah, I'm gonna look that up right now.
If you look up Goose character poster, you'll get it.
Googling it. That's because that's gonna probably be our image now for this podcast. Oh hell yeah, that's just a cat.
It's Goose. He was called Chewie in the comics, but I understand why Goose is a funnier name.
I like Goose. So.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so if you haven't seen that, look that up because Goose is very much the breakout star of Captain Marvel.
Oh, wow. I'm looking at it now, too.
Yep. I have it on stream
that's
for anybody
beautiful.
watching. But yeah,
it's funny if you look at all the other pictures as well, all the other posters of like D.H. Clark Gregg and Samuel L. Jackson and Jude Law, and then it's just the same exact style and pose, but with a cat.
I love it.
Very good.
That's real dumb.
Yes.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, we'll probably have to talk about that next week too. Of just have a brief, spoiler-free. Most likely be freaking out about how good Captain Marvel is. Hopefully,
we could always do a spoiler cast so we get the episode numbers up.
That's right. Before this episode, we were talking about how we're nearing a special number of podcast episodes, and but we actually getting a spoiler cast might be fun because I'm very excited about this.
But we could have that special number on another special number.
Yeah.
Yes.
Especially if it is actually a Saturday.
It is a Saturday.
It is.
It is.
You'd have to turn it around real quickly for it to still be a Saturday for me and my British audience.
That's true. I think we need to find a way to do this. It has to happen. We're gonna have to do a intermediary episode somewhere in the middle of the week.
It's only like three, right? That we'd have to do.
I think
let's math it after this cast.
Yeah,
okay.
we've got enough. We've got some time to plan this out.
Yeah,
we can make this work.
We've got till, let's say, around the third week of April.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Today that's legitimately my birthday, so.
What a great gift.
Yes.
It'll be
all
nice.
right. Well, if that on that note, I think that we're going to wind down. So, Alex, where can people find you?
Fix.space.
Yes.
Yeah.
Erica, how about you?
At Erica, AIREHCUH on Twitter and Instagram. I just posted my missed Kickstarter backing. What do they call it? Like
Back a reward.
reward. Yeah, that's it. That's the. I think this is the first one I've gotten. I said it was the best one, which is also true, but I think it's also the first one I've ever gotten.
It is super nuts.
It is genuinely really cool. Like, you should if you're listening to this, go to Erica's Twitter and look this up, because I watch the videos and I'm just like, what?
It's really cool.
So good.
Yeah,
it is so good.
Yeah.
Sam, how about you?
You can find me on everything at SGCH, pretty much. Alex, what's our email address again, if people want to send us emails?
Gaming@fix.space.
Yeah, send us some emails. If you send an email, if we get less than like 10, we'll read them all and discuss them all on the show.
Every last one of them.
Every single one.
Yeah.
I was
we'll
not sure if Alex was joking that was our email address.
No, I had to think about it.
Yeah, if we get less than 10, we'll read every single one. If we get more than 10, we'll read the 10 best ones.
Yep.
Yes.
And that will be our philosophy going forward. There you go.
All right, and you can find me on the Twitter at WRITERSERENYTY and on Twitch at Happy Beeps here, but I've been so busy with work I haven't been able to stream. So, all right. Well, I think that'll do it for this week's episode of Gaming Fix, and talk to you guys later.
See y'all.
Bye.
Bye.
I like how we're waving, but it's not a video podcast. Goodbye.
I'll turn my video back
No
on.
one knew we were waving to you.
We are waving to you at home, but you just can't see it.
Yep. Later, nerds.
Bye.
Bye.